The misconception is that being a gentleman is just about being polite or courteous to women. In actuality, to be a true gentleman means that you have respect for your fellow man, so it encompasses men and women. Style is something that you evolve into. It's about your personality. It's about how you live your life.
Welcome to the next episode of the Gentleman of Style Show. I'm Baldwin.
And I'm Creech. And today
we have...
Oh, no, I was going to say, I'm a little geeked today about
you know... you know what? I'm actually geeked, too.
I'm a little geeked about our participant today.
Because I think this conversation is going to be quite stimulating.
Yeah.
You know, we were lucky enough to have... Well, I was lucky enough to have a little preview, a short preview to it prior to the conversation that we're about to have. So, our next guest is a person... He was an all-star athlete. You know, I went to school with him. We used to live in the dorms. I used to make money off of him. He used to say, yo, you can tell me to race anybody and I'll race him and I'll beat him. Yeah, and he beat everybody. We used to have dorm wars where one side of the hall would come down and fight the other side of the hall. He would knock niggas. I edited that out. He'd knock people out and we'll slide them down the hall back the other way toward their rooms. And all of that. I remember one occasion to where we was in the pool, and this guy tried to roll up on me because he thought I was trying to talk to his girlfriend, but I wasn't trying to talk to his girlfriend was trying to talk to me.
I mean, we in the intro, baby.
I gotta tell this. I gotta tell this real quick. I gotta tell this real quick. The next guest came up out of the water like Rambo, not Rambo 2, but Rambo 1. He was ripped. He came up out of the water like that. Dude ain't know what was going on. He went screaming the other way. But anyway, our next guest. You want to call our next guest?
Oh no, man, that was the longest intro.
I had to tell a little story. You know, get it ready, get it right. But our next guest, I would like to welcome Lorenza Melton Lennon, other known as Big Low. Welcome to the set, man. Come on in here. Yeah. Come on in.
That man had to call you a hole, man.
Yeah. Hey, man,
Hey, that right there was good already. You ain't got to do that, though. People going to be laughing over that. They're all funny.
Yeah. That's good. We try to be slightly entertaining.
See, y'all, boy, that boy, I don't know. I'm little, I'm music industry dressed. Y'all boys,
hey, man, you do you.
Executive, boy, top dollar.
You come as you are.
Hey,
that's your business attire.
Oh, yeah, this is me right here.
That's what you do.
I can dress up sometimes when I want to.
Well, I know. I gave a riveting introduction. But you can formally introduce yourself. Tell us you can give your name again, and you can tell us where you're from, and how did you get to live here in Atlanta, Georgia? How did you get from North Carolina to Atlanta?
So, my name is Lorenza Lennon. Everybody call me back home. They call me Junior.
Oh, okay.
Or Junebug.
Yeah.
So I'm from a little small town called Whiteville, North Carolina. I grew up working in the tobacco field.
Yeah.
Been there. Yep.
And a lot of people don't understand what that means. So it's a lot of it's like slave labor, right?
Yeah.
A lot of hard work in the sun. And I remember growing up telling my grandfather, I was just telling my grandfather, because I started working since I was like probably 8 years old. I was working in the tobacco field. And when I started cropping, I was like, man, this ain't for me. I told my grandfather, I said, Grandpa, when I get older, I'm always thinking with my brain. I ain't doing no manual labor. And which was probably a good thing, you know what I mean? My mom, she was single, and we stayed with my grandparents, and they helped her, and then she bought her own house, and we moved out. But I still, you know, would go stay with them probably every night.
Right.
You know, because they only live right down the road. But yeah, I went from there, played football, Whiteville. You know, I was a star athlete, track, star athlete, football, and the band. I would play trumpet.
Oh, you play trumpet?
Uh-huh.
Can you play it now?
You know what? I got one at the house, and I picked it up. I was in my garage. I picked it up, and I could play the scales. Just a little bit. Because, you know, your lips got to get back where they were. Yeah. You play trumpet?
Hell no, but I was just excited for you.
I could play trumpet. So that's crazy because in the 6th grade, I was like really good. And then I was really good, and then I got to high school, I started playing football my sophomore year, and I wouldn't play during the football season.
I was about to ask you, why did you stop? I mean, you sound like you were interested.
I was good at football, but then I ended up getting tumors on my skull, so I went to A&T.
Right.
And that's where I met Ron and Craig and Terrence. That's where I met all y'all. Yeah, so, yeah, we used to have them wars. And, you know, nobody knew I was an athlete, though. But not only that, though, Ron, we grew up cropping tobacco, working in the field.
That's true.
We would cock diesel. We didn't have to lift no weights, nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Our cardiovascular systems were well developed. We were in good shape.
Still right now,
Yeah,
Doctor
still
said
right
my
now.
heart like a 20-something-year-old.
I notice that sometimes when I go like out and I'm walking or hiking or riding a bike, I can just keep going. I don't get tired at ease.
Well, once you get over that hump, like I'm jumping ropes.
Yeah,
now.
once you get over that hump.
Yeah. Nobody don't believe I'm jumping rope.
So you guys never knew each other back home.
We knew each other.
Yeah, but not.
But
yeah, we knew
not on the level like.
Yeah, I would see Ronell, because Ronell was, you know, rich boy. Ronell always had a car. And be loaded down with chicks all the time.
It's not true.
That sounds about right.
That
sounds about right.
And Ronell be
Playboy.
whipping. Ronell be whipping, you know, Ronell would be whipping, you know. And so I used to see Ronell. I knew he was. He knew who I was. But we didn't never, you know.
Yeah, never hung out.
We
I
never
used to
hung
be
out.
all down in like, you know, Sand Hill, go to the Hideaway, places like that, you know.
Now go look all these places up. If you don't know where they are, look them up. It's on the map. Go look it up, see where it is.
You'll never find it.
Whiteville High School. And he went to Hallsboro High School.
That's right. That's right.
But so I remember the crazy thing. I tell people this story. So before I went to college, I was pretty much a straight A student. I'm at A's and B's, but I say I was the smartest black boy in our class. I don't care what nobody say. We had some smart. We were smart, but I think I probably pound for pound was the smartest one. Me and Andre McMillan and Anthony Baldwin, Herman Jones, yeah. But anyway, when I was smart, and I never thought I would know anybody that was on TV.
Right.
This the ignorance of being back home.
Right.
I never thought that I would. Now think about what I'm saying. I would watch TV and see Stevie Wonder and all those guys, you know, see Michael Jackson and them on TV. And I never thought I would know Eddie Murphy and them. I never thought I would know nobody that was on TV in that little old box. Now, as smart as I was, if I thought like that, how you think people around me thought? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Or still think.
Still think.
Yeah.
And it's funny, God bless the dead, because everybody dead but Ed. But Dean, remember Dean and Happy? So I remember when I first went to A&T, we were. I got found by the managers of Boys to Men and BBD.
Mm-hmm.
So Big Calvin, he raised them. He was their security and then became road manager. He raised New Edition and stuff from the time they was little boys. So I saw them in Greensboro, and they just took a liking to me, cause I was like, who's this countryman boy with all this talk and hustle? And then I had a group called the Shades of Harmony, and they were like Glass Knight and Pips of the '90s, and they were actually dope.
They were.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shades Harmony.
Yeah, they were actually dope though. And so Calvin got us a deal from Gerald Busby from Motown. Nobody knew it. We had a deal. But right when we got the deal, the music industry woes. They kept getting bought and sold. Remember Motown went through that?
Yep.
So when so it's just like playing sports. If a college coach bring you to their school and leave, you better leave with him, because the new coach gonna bring his own.
Exactly.
Like Denzel, like Deion Sanders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them boys hit the portal on that behind. So anyway, so I remember I started going with Calvin, and I'll be backstage at like a Boys and Men show or BBD show. At that time, they the biggest things on the planet, but nothing bigger than Boys and Men or BBD, right? So I came home. I remember like yesterday. I came home, and I was asleep in the living room. Woke up, Ed, Dean, and Happy at the house.
Mm.
I was telling them, so they woke me up. They knew I was home. So we was sitting there talking. Then I was telling Dean and Happy that I was, I just came back from being on the road with Boys and Men for a couple of days. Boy, they laughed. Happy said, "Man, stop lying. You don't know no Boys and Men." And I just stopped. I didn't say nothing. But the whole time I was traveling on weekends, leaving A&T, going wherever they was at. You know what I'm saying? And with them, I knew TLC and Goody Mob, Outkast, because we all the same age. So when they came out, I already knew who they were. You know what I'm saying? I was never best friends with none of them, but I knew them. You know what I'm saying? I knew them. They would see us every weekend. And I remember my first girlfriend name was Stacy Peacock. Her cousin is Otis Best. Now, if you look at anything Queen Latifah does, his name comes after hers and Shaquem. Then you'll see Otis Best. That's O. So the thing was, I dated Stacy most of my high school life, right? From sophomore till I graduated. And I'll be backstage. He'd be with Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah and them. And then I'll pop up. And the first time he see me, like, what you doing here? And I'm like, what you doing here? And we both was young, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So while they performing, he's sitting down and standing up on them big old speakers in the back. And that was just crazy. It was just crazy how you just never know, you know what I'm saying, the direction you're going to go in. But let's see what else. So I just never realized that I would know these people that I've come to know. And I know a lot of people, more people than, I hate social media. I only post because I'm in the entertainment business, and I do get consulting gigs off of it, you know what I'm saying? Like Xbox, Microsoft. I did a consulting gig with them, with Usain Bolt. So I flipped the music stuff, and I started working at Monster. Monster makes beats by Dre, headphones.
Let's go back just before you get into that. How did you flip your relationships into getting into the entertainment business? So you started to know all these people, and it's like, okay, they know you. What was the next thing you did to kind of move yourself into the industry so that you could actually maneuver and do things within the industry?
First thing is, I always had dope talent. Always had dope talent. Like, you can't deny it. You know what I mean? God bless me with an ear. I could find a dope individual. The second thing was, I'm country. And I grew up with my grandfather. You know, you grew up with your grandparents? And my grandfather used to tell me, when I sit around him and the older guys, be quiet and listen. You'll learn a lot. So from then I learned, but my grandfather always spoke to everybody. There's some people that don't talk to nobody. So I always spoke to everybody. So when I started getting around in the label, doing stuff, I became friends with the interns and the people that was at the bottom, not knowing how life and the evolution of life. Now these guys are all presidents of labels. So people be asking me like, how can you get such and such a record deal? Because when I spoke to him, nobody would speak to him. Like even producers, like DA got that dope. I've been knowing DA since he was 16.
Those relationships.
That's relationships.
Those relationships important.
It's definitely, and they come back, like I'm at the age now, I'm at the perfect age. You know, I'm at the age where all my relationships will come. I'm just as powerful as anybody else. Because I got relationships, and I treated people good. And people don't forget when they didn't have and you help. Mm-hmm. And don't get it twisted. It's probably 13, 14, 15, 16 individuals that are making money in entertainment, be it TV or whatever, that used to live in my house for a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying? You might see me with somebody or you might not see me with somebody, but it's crazy. And I'm not calling nobody names because it is what it is. I did what I did with sacrifices, and I did it.
You about to say something?
No, I was just going to, from there, I was going to say, so once you made the relationships, what made you decide, okay, I'm gonna start managing. Let me manage. Let me, try to scope somebody's.
I started out managing first. So I used to watch a lot of Humphrey Bogart movies, right?
Right.
And then what is it? The Cat on the Tin Roof.
Cat on the Hot Tin Roof.
Yeah, Filler, whatever. Anyway,
Roof,
where a lot of scamming movies.
Right.
And the fast talking and just watch them, how they pay attention to everybody around them. And I was at A&T, people knew me, but nobody don't know what you can do. It's just like coming to Atlanta. There's so many people that ain't nothing in their hometown come in and lie about who they are. Mm. Some of them fake it till they make it. Some of them fall till they crawl or whatever. But so God bless the dead. My best friend was Cephas Spalding.
Remember Cephas?
Yep. I remember Cephas. And Cephas used to be in my apartment all the time. I don't think we was living together then. Mm-hmm. Cephas used to be in my apartment. Me and Cephas be together every day. And one day Cephas said, we seen Gary and Bun. Mm-hmm. Bumgarner. I meant Chad Bumgarner, but Gary and Bun. We seen Gary. And Cephas was like, yeah, that's some boys. He said, them boys can sing. I ain't paid no attention to it, so we in summer school. So then Cephas picked me up the next day, and I go to Cephas' room to go to sleep. Because Cephas had a room by itself with 2 beds. So I go lay down. I woke up. I thought somebody had that radio blasting Boys and Men. It was Gary and them. And they was in the hallway of the stairwell. And I was like, damn, somebody got that radio up. Cephas said, hey, bro, that ain't no radio. That's them boys I was telling you about. Mm. And I said, come on, Cephas. So he took me, and he took me to introduce me to them. I said, look, man, I want to be y'all manager. I'm going to prove it to y'all. I'm going to get y'all a show. And I want to manage y'all. I could do stuff for you. I was lying like a mother. I didn't know what I was going to do. So they was looking at me, I was like, okay. Because they ain't know nothing either. And we off, first year in college.
Right.
So I said, come on, Cephas. So me and Cephas hit the road. We ride by that club on Market Street, y'all. I don't know the side of not what
was
the
it
side.
D&K? What? Not D&K. What was that?
If you leave A&T, make
I know what
right.
you're talking about. It had about 15 names, but yeah.
I had about 25.
Yeah.
Got that fight that night.
You talking about the one that was right up the street?
Where that boy was, yes. You know what I'm talking about. Remember the boy stole everybody's stuff out your house?
I vaguely remember.
He played baseball. He's supposed to go pro. And we woke up one morning and he stole everything. He stole my money.
I do kind of remember something like that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we ride by there and there's a sign outside. Arrested Development was performing there.
Oh.
I said, Cephas, whip in there. So Cephas turn around, whip in there. I go in there the fast. I said, look, man, I got, I know y'all got this group, Arrested Development. I got a group, they're A&T. They could bring probably 50 to 100 people if they know they're going to perform out here tonight, which I knew he's going to be counting the door.
Mm-hmm.
He charged $25, $30 at the door.
All right.
50, 50 people means a lot. So he was like, all right, bring them back up here. Let me hear what they sound like. If they pass the test, I'll let them open up. First thing I got them. They came back up there and they blew them away. And then after that, we just went from place to place.
That was a good origin story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like a superhero origin story. Yeah.
Huh?
Like
Went from
that.
place to place. But I think out of everybody in the group, I'm the only one that kept it going.
Right.
And it's kind of weird how managers are. So a lot of times, people who are servants, kind of, right, do that thing. They evolve. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't want to be an artist, because artists, everything that goes up must come down. It just is what it is. No matter how dope you are, it is what it is. It's a lot of pressure being an artist.
No doubt.
Managers, like I'm doing music, then I jump off doing marketing for Xbox, Microsoft, and Monster headphones. I was lifestyle marketing department, and then to now I do sports marketing.
So how did you branch off into the market? So you were managing, running that situation. So how did you branch off into marketing, which is probably, realistically, managing is technically marketing, but.
Right. I'm a hustler. And I was with this guy named Kevin Black. He was out there with Dre and Snoop and all them. He's part of that whole story. He was the executive at Interscope. And I had met Kevin. Where did I meet Kevin at? I don't even know how I met Kevin. And Kevin wanted somebody for Monster who I knew personally. They couldn't get him, but I could, you know what I'm saying? So he came to me, and then I was helping him, you know what I'm saying? And then, and don't get it twisted, Kevin know everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin's a little older, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I helped him with something else. He was like, I was like, man, I need to get a check, bro. He was like, bet, I got you. And then he had Monster fly me out. He introduced me to Noli, the CEO. They flew me, matter of fact, they flew me to San Francisco right before it was for the Super Bowl. It was for the Super Bowl. And I flew out there, and he met me. He had already talked to me a couple times. I've been on conference calls and all this other stuff. But he said, where you from? I said, North Carolina. A little town called Whiteville. You've never heard of it. He's like, nah. He said, but you smart as hell. But I just think outside the box. Like, I think about stuff people don't think about. When it comes to marketing, you know what I'm saying? I always have been like that. So he saw it.
So what would be one of the most interesting things that you've learned up to this point about the industry?
You can do it. There's no rules.
No rules?
Yeah, like when you meet people in the industry, like, there's some people that are buttholes.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can see them on Instagram, or you meet, and there's some people that's cool. But they ain't no different than anybody.
So how you with it there not being any guardrails, no rules, how do you navigate the basically the wild
You're going
west?
to fall down sometime, and you're going to get up and run.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to fall down. You know what I'm saying? That's the best teacher. Like, people their degrees in music management. That blows me.
Mm.
You don't need no degree to manage nobody. Because you got to manage another human being now. It ain't no right or wrong way to manage a person.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? You got to deal with the business, and you got to deal with that individual. And I ain't going to lie. Artists, I always say this, and people get mad at me for saying it. I say artists are mildly retarded.
Really?
Yeah.
How so? In what way?
I mean, they're gifted.
Right.
They are gifted, like, autistic people. They're geniuses.
But you say, but
I mean, I don't mean retarded in a bad way. I just mean, like, retarded. Like, they're different.
are they different?
Different. They're different. They think off. Artists, it's a proven fact. They think on a different side of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're
So you
different.
mean more autistic, as in, because autistic people are special and have the capability to do things that normal people don't do.
Right.
Retardation is a whole other side of that. That's a
Well, some of
That's
them,
a-
you guys,
that's more
depending on what
real.
manager you ask.
well, yeah. I mean, I guess the other piece of that is, artists are about whatever they're doing, whether it's music or whether they paint, whether they sculpt or whatever. That's what they do. The business part of it, for a lot of them, don't come until years later, if it ever comes, because that's what they do. That's what makes them special. When they can focus on whatever the craft is, that's what they do, and that's why. I mean, hell, if it wasn't for that, a lot of them wouldn't have a manager at all. They could manage themselves. But
Managing is the worst thing in the world to do. It's the worst thing in the world. It's like dealing with another person, man. It's just, especially if you think differently than them.
well, that's the key.
So you see something differently in them, it's hard. You can't make a grown person do nothing.
Well, it's a relationship. It's like
Yes, I'm blessed. Like, I have an artist named Matazio, and so me and him we fell out for like 7 years, and then God told me we was gonna have, he wanted me to make things right with him. Same time God was talking to him, we got back together, and he like my brother. You know what I'm saying? And 3 weeks later, he had a record deal. I got him a record deal. I signed him with Vincent Herbert. Vincent's he's probably the biggest black person musically, because he's produced everybody under the sun. He got Beyonce and them, they deal. He did No, the first song they ever put out.
All right, so Lo, tell me this about the marketing piece of it. It's different than managing. So when you're in the marketing world, how do you keep that going, or do you get people that constantly come to you?
I get people to come to me.
Okay.
I mean, for me, consulting with Xbox and Microsoft, I did the Super Bowl. I helped them with the Super Bowl in Atlanta a couple years ago. I mean, once people see you around, I just had a skill set. My skill set, just like I did at Monster, I could get to celebrities. So my cousin had played pro basketball. So I ended up knowing a lot of these top celebrities in basketball. And then football, homeboy Chester McLaughlin was an all-star,
Right. Yeah.
all-pro, God bless the dead.
Aggie Pride.
Yeah. So then when it came to the music side, I know, I just know people. I know every manager. I can get to anybody. Ain't nobody I can't get to.
So, no, I was just gonna say. So your role when you talk marketing, is that matching, people with product, or what? How does that work?
Yeah. So what's happening now is the culture is where everybody coined it, right? The culture runs everything. Everybody want to get in the culture, but the problem is, I mean, there's nothing prejudice. It's hard when a black person see a black white person coming. There's some gives and takes. The gives is most of them are gonna believe whatever the white person say because they're white, right? But the numbers are gonna be extra high. There ain't no relationship.
Right.
Now, if I come, I can relate to them. Then there's more leeway for a corporation. Because these guys are so rich, they don't need nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the weirdest thing, though, is to see when you give an entertainer a $300 pair of headphones.
Mm.
Like rich people love free gifts.
That is very true.
It's very true.
That's very true.
It's wild. They can buy $1 million of them.
Yeah.
But you give them one, they love it. So that's just all I used to do. Is just I could be the bridge for a company, major corporation.
The liaison.
Yeah, because Monster was big,
Right.
and then Xbox and Microsoft are the biggest.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Let's say a person that is like basically a novice, but they love the industry.
Mm-hmm.
They have no background. They have, you know, no degree in it, but they love it.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the best avenue for them to initiate themselves to get into that industry?
They gotta find an artist.
They need to find an artist.
Either find an artist or find somebody that's already established,
Mm.
and go to them and beg them to work for free.
Mm.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta find any means necessary, and then when you get in there, you gotta listen. Don't. The worst thing is when somebody try to tell you more than what you already know.
So when you say beg them to work for free, how long are they gonna work for free? Or is that just for them to get experience in the industry?
That's for them to get a foot in the door. Then
Oh,
they
okay.
gotta figure the rest out later.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Maybe they need to work a third shift job.
right, right,
I
right.
don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like people don't know. Most people in the music industry broke.
I believe that.
They broke to a certain point. Like of course Drake and them not broke. Chris
Right.
Brown's not broke.
Right, right.
But
they
when you see
least
a
though.
new artist come out,
Yeah.
sometimes they be fubbing. And I say that, okay, you gotta understand, royalties come 9 months later, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they might be broke today, but they know some money's gonna come.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So 13 months is all you need to wait. Cause the first check gonna be small in 9 months.
Well, break that down. Like break for someone who doesn't understand like payout for an artist. Break that down for somebody.
But now, man, it's like it's a bunch of ways. There's so many streams of income now. Like labels say they losing, they making more money. They lying because you got so many internet channels, internet stations. So there's royalties from record sales, right?
But hold on, keep going into that. But when you say they say they losing, but they lying. But nowadays the artists, they are, because of like the internet and social media and everything like that, the independence of it, and they can establish themselves. The record labels, they don't get a hand in that, right?
Record label get a hand in it. It depends on how you come to the label. So say Terrence artist, say she break right now. He can ask for whatever he want. They're gonna give it to him. But if you're an artist that come to them and you ain't broke, you gotta break bread. They getting everything. They getting a piece of everything.
But that's only when you initiate the contact or the dealings with them. But if they're independent and they are doing their own thing and they have some type of following or whatnot, and they can book their own shows and stuff like that, that's separate from the they haven't engaged in any type of contractual obligation
Nah.
at that point.
Like my friend man is Brent Fayez.
Mhm.
Brent is really independent. Brent and he Richard.
But he's not
Which-
dealing with a label, right?
No, I don't think they got a distribution deal. I mean, they got somebody there to put the music in the right places.
Okay, but the distribution deal, that's different from signing with a label.
Or if
to
you
do
sign with a
push.
record label, they distribute your record, but they also help you make the record and market your record.
Right, but
Distribution could do marketing and distributing.
Okay.
But yeah, but it's so many incomes. I mean, so many ways to make money now. Like it's like he's rich off the internet, like TikTok and YouTube, Instagram. Like if you blow up and get Instagram famous, it's over.
Right.
But I'll tell you, 90% of everybody that blow up on Instagram or them things, I don't think they made it musically when they go the full way.
Is that because they don't know how to market themselves or take the next step in order to monetize?
I think a little bit of everything. I think labels nowadays back in the day, labels used to work. You know what I mean? They really would get a nobody and, all right, we're going to make them somebody. They ain't like that no more. All they want, if you got to have your own numbers. If you ain't got no numbers, you ain't getting no record deal.
Mm. Is that because the pool of available resources as far as people are concerned that they can go out there and get is like saturated now?
That's because niggas don't want to work.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, if you watch, a lot of A&Rs are more famous than the artists. It's not
who, for example, who?
I ain't calling no names. I'm just saying in general. I mean, I'm saying like, I got a friend of mine right now. His name is Sean Barron.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew Sean when he was an intern for Mike Cannon at Atlantic Records. But when he believes in you as an artist,
yeah,
he'll put his own money behind you.
Mm-hmm.
He helps you find records. He's going to make sure you get your right market. He is probably the best A&R right now in the business, I would say. Just because, and there's several of them. There's several of them that I see that really work with their artists, but most A&Rs don't really work for their artists. The artists come already made. And if you ask the artist, the next time you get an artist to sign, ask them. They was already made. They probably was already blew up. It's harder to do what I've been doing all my life. I'll find somebody who don't have nothing. And then the artists don't really understand that either. You ain't got nothing to offer nobody. Really, it take all of our effort to get them and relationships to get them where people can even see a value in it. There's a million people that can sing. There's a million people that can sing.
Now, that leads me to something else. So, are you saying that the ultimate goal is to get attached to a label?
Not no more. The ultimate, back in the day, if you wasn't with a label, you wouldn't blow up.
Right. But they had all the power. They had all the connections.
Now
that was the only vehicle.
That was
right,
on
the vehicle, yeah.
So now with the internet, them kids, you know, Bailey over here, Holly over there. Bailey might do something tomorrow and get 50 million views on that.
Right.
One.
Yeah.
Every record label in the country gonna come and offer her a record deal. Bailey ain't even she ain't been groomed. You don't know what she can do.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying about A&Rs. Labels only care about the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, true artists, it's hard. It's hard.
Let's break this down for people. If you're an artist, TikTok, whoever, then you decide, you put out something, you cover a song, you blow up. And you say, okay, well, damn, I got 4 million views off this video. Hell, I'm going to make my own song. Or I've already got my own song. Nobody was listening to it before then, but I did a cover of a well-known song. Now I got 4 million views. Then I dropped my song, right? So after I dropped my song, and I put it in places, so I guess I do it on my own. I guess you go through DistroKid, whatever. So I got it on Amazon and Apple and Tidal. I got it everywhere. How do I make money off that?
We gotta market it. That one, first of all,
before the market, I mean, like, if it's out there, like in the streams, I'm saying break down the streams, like how, like.
You need a performance royalty company first.
Okay.
ASCAP, BMI, CSET, right?
Okay.
Those are the major ones. You need something like that. You need a pub company like Sony, Warner Chappell, Universal. Like, it's a ton of publishing companies, some little ones too. You need a publishing company, and then, PRO, performance royalties there, right? A publishing company, and that's all you need.
Okay, so got that set.
They will go collect. So anytime, CSAT, anytime an artist performs a song, or anytime you go in a bar and they play Feel Better, like a Tazio record, we get a check off of that. Just for them playing it. In a bar, a club, or whatever. Somebody performed a song, or somebody in it, like, it gets paid for all that. So these companies will keep up with all your money. Because really, like somebody like Drake or Chris Brown is streaming in so many different areas, it's crazy. I could only imagine. But every song is coded anyway. So the computer picks up on it.
They're like whenever you use somebody's songs and post it to Facebook, they would say, "Oh, it's copyright claim to it or whatever like that."
Yep.
That's a
Because
scam.
to get credit for a song, they gotta send it to the company, and then they'll put a code on the
So
song.
it can be tracked no matter where.
no
it's
matter
played.
where.
Which leads me to this. So, if let's say, based upon what you just said, I'm an influencer. I got 4 million followers, and I do. Let's say, take Country Wayne for instance. Shout out Country Wayne. With Country Wayne, he doesn't do this, but let's say Country Wayne decided, for all these skits that I'm putting out now, I want to start using music from high powers, Drake's and Lil Wayne's and all of this. How does he clear that?
What you mean? Like he has a song with Drake?
No, that he wants to. Well, I'll get into that one in a minute. But he wants to use their music because everything that Wayne does, he gets paid for. So all of those, skits and stuff as he streams, he gets paid every time. So in order for him to use a Drake song, he'd have to get it cleared. How would he get it cleared? How do you clear music? Let's go with the basics.
Oh, you have to call the label. They have a clearing department.
Okay.
But the best way to do is have a relationship with the artist.
Because you can go directly to them and say, "Hey."
Yeah, and then they can tell them they'll clear the
Yeah, go
song.
ahead and clear the song.
And so when
Somebody like Lil Wayne tell them to clear it, they don't clear it.
So if they're clearing, the other piece of that, so when they're clearing, is there a deal being struck or is there an automatic fee to clearing that song? So meaning, if I want to use a Drake song, is there a flat rate? Yeah, you can use it, it's going to cost you $50,000. Or is it?
Oh, man, it's like the price of weed.
What do
They
you
lick
mean?
their finger and whichever way the wind blows.
That's what we're going to charge you.
Maybe,
What do you mean? They just come up with prices, whatever they feel
No,
like
ain't
it
no
is at the
set
moment.
price.
Yeah.
It's how they feel, what they want to charge. Like most guys, like the people that really winning are the old school guys.
Because all their stuff has been sampled and resampled.
Right, and they taking, now they gangster with it. They not giving up nothing, Harlan.
Because they
Most
missed
of
out
them-
on their money back then. They getting it now.
Oh man, these guys are making them so rich right now. I think two ways. I think, you should be fair about it. Some of these guys take 45 out of 50%. Some of them take 50 out of 50. Some
Well,
of them won't give you nothing.
Is that exactly true? Because I heard there was something I saw the other day, and they were talking about how a lot of old school people, because of the deals and the contracts they made, they don't own any of their songs.
By now they do.
Oh, you think it's
Yeah,
reverted back to them?
after 20-some years.
Oh, that's a staple in the contract.
Yeah,
They revert
well,
back?
it don't say it in the contract,
It
but
depends on
So
which
it's not
artist
it's
you're
not
talking
all
about.
it's not in perpetuity or anything like that with these 360s and all.
well, the 360s went back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
360 came back years ago, like in our modern time.
Right,
And now they don't even do. Well, they try to do 360 if you let them, but
right. But people kind of
yeah, because it's different than streaming. They're gonna eat. Everybody gonna eat off performance. They try to eat off your publishing. Best thing to do is keep everybody from eating your publishing.
Mm.
You give them a piece of that, a performance. Keep your publishing. But let's see what else. Yeah, every deal is the way you structure it. That's the deal. Like it ain't no right or wrong way. It's just how you structure your deal. But I think sometimes artists think they're gonna sign their first record deal and get treated like Lil Wayne or Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody's got to take their money to break you, they gonna break you in the pocket too.
Let me ask you this: if you were meeting Shades of Harmony today, and they still young, tender young age of 20 or whatever they were back then, but you met them today, and you felt like, oh, I can do something with these guys, what would be the first thing that you would do with them?
For me personally, like I can hear artists and talk to them, and I think God gives me a vision for that person. You see what I'm saying? So then I try. You need to cultivate the sound. You need to have know what your artist is. Like what are they? Cause some people all over the place. Some people gonna do country, pop, hip hop, and I don't know. That ain't. You ain't got to sound. When you hear R. Kelly song, when you hear a Prince song, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, you know it's them.
So the first thing you would do would be a guiding force into cultivating their sound into what you believe that it should be.
Yep. Before I take it in.
Not what they believe it should be, but what you believe.
Yeah. They gotta believe too, but sometimes they don't know because you're artists. Artists are so gifted; they in the moment. Artists stay in the moment.
But isn't that a part of the art because they are in the moment?
That's why artists aren't executives.
But executives feed off of the art.
Most people that build houses get money from the bank.
Yeah, that's true.
Most get what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
So
The bank is going to tell them what the.
I mean, they don't tell them what to do, but it funds them. It's the vital part of them. I think when God give you something, when God put the right thing together, it's a vision. Like me and Atazio, God put us together.
Right.
And we can argue like cats and dogs, but we'll be in sync on your head. You know what I'm saying? Any given moment, we might jump off on your head together. And that's just how we are. But he was always a little different than a lot of people. Me and Tazio never had paperwork in the beginning. And we went years with no paperwork. And then all his money used to be deposited in my account. He didn't even have a bank account. Crazy. And he might get a check for $100,000 in a day. Just like that. And if I needed $1, I'd go ask him, man, can I borrow $100? He'd be like, you got all my money in your account. What you asking me for money for? You know. But every artist not built like that.
Yeah, right.
Every artist not built like that. A lot of street guys are.
But wouldn't I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but wouldn't the arbitrage be, since, say, an executive, they're not normally hanging out, from my perspective, they're not normally hanging out in the type of environments that the artist may be privy to on a regular basis that, you know, that generates these ideals and these feelings and this sound that they generate. So they're more in touch with the vibe, the pulse of the you know, the social scene. So to me,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
executives like,
because I'm talking about ownership and who's doing what. You see what I'm saying? As far as it was something that you said earlier. I don't forgot what it was now. I don't remember what it was.
But it's, I mean, honestly nowadays you gotta ask the kids, man.
That in the fact, you got to think. Some of the executives now, or even back then, loved the culture so much. Like when you look at the Lear Cohens, who else? What's Ryan's brother's name? I'm sorry, Uncle Rush.
Yeah.
When you look at those guys, they loved the culture so much they became executives. So they weren't like the typical executive because they were in the club with you. They were.
Look at Puff.
Puff, right? You know.
Yeah, but who's to my point? Who's operating like that now?
Sean Barron.
See, I don't even know that name.
You will. It's Sean Barron. He just parted with Motown. Started out with Atlantic.
Who's he?
He was responsible for Ty Dolla $ign.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Okay.
Who will be around forever. Because he writes. He does it all.
He's
a dope artist.
Yeah.
People love him. He's a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
He's a street dude that got beautiful melody.
Well, that's one. Who else?
Does other A&R?
Well, I'm just saying that takes this
pulse
of the street.
You'd have to get into different labels and figure it out.
I don't even know who. Nah, I mean, there's a lot of good ones.
But the game has changed so much.
That's what I'm saying.
The executives, they're still there, but it's just depending on how they're moving. Because you don't have to go to a club anymore to find an artist, right?
Well, that's to my point.
If you go on a regular label, all you
point.
do is they searching on YouTube.
Exactly, to my point. Well, back earlier when I said about the saturation of the industry, they're not going out there like it used to be where you would pick. They can just go out there, because you said it earlier, they need to have a following now. They need to have a following, something going on and everything.
But you can go viral without really having the talent.
Exactly.
I believe that. That's true.
And that's what messed up. To me, there's a lot of great music out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, second tier people that you don't even know about. That's dope. That has a following that can book probably a 500 nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So There are a lot of people popping up. There's a lot of good music. The generations, I think, they've lessened some of the music to me.
What do you mean by that?
Like my daughter, I used to tell my son and my daughter, like, just imagine, Harley, your daughter, my daughter, they had to come back home. They're going to come to a class reunion 20 years from now. What music they going to party to?
They probably gonna be they grew up with. They're gonna they revisit the old nostalgia.
Their generation ain't got no music that's gonna be standing like that.
You don't think so?
To them, it will.
No, it won't.
See,
but how can you dance like right now? Bailey and them doing the TikTok dances.
And that'll come back when we were. At
so you think they're gonna be in college? I mean, 25 years from now.
Well, you gotta think if Rob Bass came on right now, you.
But twerking is a thing of what it is today, though.
Well, not everybody twerks though.
Yeah, but I mean
it's there.
I'm gonna answer your question. We were at gymnastics competition the week before last, right? Mm-hmm. And we went to the award ceremony after the competition. We were in the auditorium, and prior to them starting to give out the awards, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna play some music if y'all want to come up here and dance." Talking to all the gymnasts, right? Mm-hmm. They played the TikTok hottest songs and stuff. And the kids were all about it. You should have seen them up there. They were getting down to the TikTok.
But what I'm saying,
because those TikTok hottest songs are actually whole songs.
But I'm saying, it's some songs like, I think sometimes their songs don't have feeling.
Well, I differ because a lot of those songs, they're not even new songs. Some of the songs are like old songs that they've taken a part out of, that they reintroduced into the environment.
TikTok, yeah.
But no, I'm talking about, forget the old song with the mesh. I'm talking about.
Well, it wasn't even mesh. It's an actual old song, but they took a part of it that's catchy, and that made the TikTok out of it. So now they're revisiting.
I think you guys are talking two
different things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because what Lo was saying, the music that some of these guys and ladies are creating now doesn't have the sustaining power that the music back then did.
But you don't know that because you're in it now. You can't really say that.
Well,
you're interpreting what he's saying, but I'm telling y'all, you can't say that because you're in it now. 50 years from now, when they are our age, or 40 years from now, my daughter's 10 right now. Who's to say that because we don't have that knowledge right now. We can't predict the future in that way.
We can. What he's saying, I have some agreement with, but it's the agreement with the music doesn't have the same sustaining power that other music has.
Like Prince or Michael Jackson.
Let me finish this.
Okay.
But it doesn't have that type of sustaining power because it doesn't bridge the gaps. That's the difference.
What do you mean bridge the gaps?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So when you think about Michael Jackson, Prince, hell, you can even probably throw Luther in it, but when you think about a lot of the artists that came out during that era, and then you could, matter of fact, I'm going to give you a better one than that. Let's think about Charlie Wilson, right? Charlie Wilson came out in the era with my mom and them, right? He rode through that era, rode all the way through Shaka Khan. A lot of those artists have ridden into this era and still have that staying power, right? So that music comes out in different ways. Some of those are TikToks, right? The generation now makes music for the moment that is not going to transcend to where us at 70, right? So we turn 70, we're not going to be listening to that. We'll still be connected to the music to us that had some substance. Now, the kids that you're talking about, yeah, they'll probably listen because it's their era. So if they had a reunion, yeah, they probably would listen to it. But then again, it wouldn't.
It's not gonna be the same.
It wouldn't close the gap. Their music is their music.
Close the gap. Listen, y'all.
No, listen.
Both of y'all are wrong, by the way.
No, we're not.
Both of y'all are wrong.
No, we're not. Because
both of y'all are wrong. I'm gonna tell you why. Right now, you go ahead and finish your thought. Now I'm gonna tell you why.
Because again, if music doesn't transcend and close the gap in generations, that's what staying power is. If your music doesn't have, like, you're going to tell me that, when you're 70, you're gonna really, you're gonna pull up like, damn, I gotta hear that little Nas X. I ain't heard that in a while. Probably not. I'm gonna pull up that little whoever ever and blah blah blah. You might, but you have some artists that will. I think the baby will transcend. I think he'll be there. His flow is closer to what we know.
You know what? I totally disagree with y'all. If your point is the same as his point, I totally disagree.
No,
with y'all.
well, my point ain't always all the way the
disagree.
same. My point is,
I'm gonna say this:
What?
When y'all watch this and y'all agree and y'all have a view on this, please comment on what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, because you're wrong. You're not going to tell me I'm wrong. Shit, you thought I was going to let that go? You're not going to tell me I'm wrong. You're wrong, man. You're wrong.
I know you wrong. You're wrong as hell. He about to edit what he was talking about, but I know what you're saying.
I'm staying on the same thing I was saying. I just think that it's going to be interesting to see them. They didn't have love songs like we did. They didn't have a New Edition Jodeci and Jagged Edge and Drew Hill.
Sustaining power.
They didn't have that, Ronell. So Terrence is right too. What he's saying is, we could go with our parents to a party and enjoy their music.
Still get it.
And all the way through our generation. Our generation made music like that.
Yep.
Even
changed it up.
Changed it up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Made
did.
that music.
And I think like Lil Wayne, Drake,
They'll
21 Savage,
Yep.
Lil Baby, especially, like they're geniuses too.
They got some good music.
They'll transcend.
But Drake definitely transcend. Lil Wayne, they got songs. They've made songs that's gonna transcend. But everybody's not doing it, and that's what I think.
I think y'all both are still wrong.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Let me hear you.
I don't know why y'all. To me, what y'all saying to me, and this is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
To me, what I'm hearing is one dimensionality as far as what y'all are saying.
Could be.
Y'all are speaking.
We sound like the old people back in the day.
I'm only speaking because I have a 20-year-old. You got some 20-year-olds.
Yep.
You got some 20-year-olds, right?
I got one. I don't know. Some, no.
Well, that one out there that you had don't claim. That one.
Yeah, whatever.
That one out there. So,
don't be looking for me for child support. Anyway.
he owe back child support. Yeah, that time he was at White Lake.
Look, big bro, let's speed it up and let's go.
Anyway, we're about to wrap this up and everything.
No, because I want to hear this.
But I have a 10-year-old, right? And even my 20-year-old and my 10-year-old, they are like worldly as far as the music they listen to. And y'all speak about they don't have love songs and everything like that. They have like this K-pop culture, and they have like these catchy love songs that they listen to, these different genres and everything. Their span is outside of what our understanding of it is. And when I listen to it and everything, and they hit me to it, and I'm like, man, that is quite catchy and interesting. Even the visual of what they're doing and everything. What?
Every one of them K-pop songs written by a black person.
I could believe that. But to my point, you're making my point now.
That's what they did. Their whole thing.
You're making my point.
Right.
You're making my point about the relatability
That's
of
why
it across generations and everything.
The hooks are catchy.
And people that can get invested in that and are listening to it, that merge into it, I think it crosses the boundaries and everything. So that's why I say that I disagree with the both of you guys as far as what that is and everything, because the exposure that is out there now, and I don't know, because I guess I deal with it a lot and everything. It is very, very, very intoxicating to hear that type of stuff and everything. So you could revisit that and be very interested and pleasantly surprised.
You're wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong, and I'm gonna tell you.
Let's wrap this up.
No, he's wrong.
We're gonna go around in circles.
Hell no, he's wrong.
We gotta wrap this up.
One definite piece that he did not add to that.
What?
First of all, it's a cultural thing.
I'm just saying culture.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. It's a cultural thing. A lot of those kids in the hood are not listening to K-pop.
That's a damn lie.
Like my kids. So
I'm telling you what I know.
So you gotta realize this.
Your
kids and my kids, right?
Okay.
Me and you raised the same.
Yep.
Your wife was the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the music industry, whatever. But I live in College Park. My kids went to Woodland and like the hood schools.
How you know they ain't listening to it though? They're not.
No. My kids listen to everything.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, but I can like my son Trey. Like I got his best friend signed one time, and shucks, one of his other best friends, Trey took to Sean Barron 3 years, and then Sean signed him 3 years later. He had forgot I even gave him the demo and everything from Trey. So Trey knows, like he knows the culture.
Right.
Like he know AZ and Perry know the culture.
Right.
Even though AZ is a singer, they listen to everything.
They listen to everything.
Everything, but they wouldn't be as amped. They're not gonna. They're more soulful, urban soulful, if I could say that.
Everybody got
so what they listen to is gonna be a little different. I just don't see.
It's the exposure, culturally wise. You're not going to hear if you're in a predominantly black neighborhood where the median income may be $20,000. Basically, you live in the hood, and I used to live in the projects.
I disagree.
I'm telling you what I know.
So you telling me because they live in a more underprivileged neighborhood that they're limited in what they have access to?
Right, because you have limited resources. Where you going to get K-pop from? Unless you just go out there and find it.
The world is connected.
The world is connected, but what do you know? We sit there and you make my case for me.
How?
We sat there and we talked about being in an urban or a small town where people don't even leave for a vacation because
that doesn't mean they're any less connected.
It does mean they're less connected because they don't know that they can get outside of that box. They don't know that they can move in a different way. They think it's not attainable. So if it's not attainable for them in terms of I'm going on vacation to the Bahamas, a lot of that is it's the mentality.
The old school people that were because look, okay, for example, in our generation, right, we've crossed like several boundaries.
And I'm gonna keep.
Okay.
I'm gonna make this caveat. I don't listen to K-pop, but go on.
And that's why you're wrong.
No, it's not wrong. That's a choice. I've heard it.
Yeah, but
I don't listen to
you
it.
making my point. You making my point. Oh.
No.
Yes, you are. You making my point.
I listen to it. It's not my thing.
See, we can't go. See, we're going around. We're going around it. We got.
But Ron, hold on. I gotta stand up for Terrence.
Right.
What?
It's not his thing though.
Right.
I get that.
Culturally,
I
for
get
me,
that.
it don't work for me.
But the point that you're saying is that just because you're doing doesn't mean somebody else is limited.
Well, the point in the beginning was I was saying it's gonna be weird to see how it is for them 20 years from now.
Y'all said that
they don't have music like we do. They can't go out there and
y'all said that the music was not long lasting.
Some of it's not. Some of Beyonce music
the music
not.
today is
some
not
of Beyonce. Beyonce is the queen.
That's what the disagreement. That I have with
Beyonce is
y'all.
the queen. And some of her music
I think
was for right
music
then.
that is
The other
long-lasting.
part
That's
is you
quite
got to look at and this is a very good point. Okay,
we can't talk about this. It's going around circle.
No, it's a good point. This ain't even about this. We
Okay.
cut and chop it up and do something else with it.
Okay.
But think about this.
How do we exit?
I'm trying to.
Okay, well,
but
let's
he
go
won't
then.
let me
Let's
exit.
go
I'm
then.
Exit,
trying
then
to go.
we
You
can
gotta
finish.
go.
Yeah,
I'm
let's go.
trying.
Go to the exit.
But
then.
he
No, I'm just saying.
I
Because
said-
you're wrong.
I said-
Because you're
That's why
wrong.
y'all got y'all on TV show.
No, because you're
So-
wrong. When you
so-
start telling people they're wrong,
Look, ladies and gentlemen.
He wrong.
Once again, this has been like a very stimulating conversation. as
say
you
you're
can
wrong.
see.
If they got any
I'm right.
questions,
By the
Say
way.
you're wrong.
I'm right.
if they got any questions, they can go to my Instagram.
all right, man, go ahead. No, for real.
Yeah, tell
For
everybody where they can find you.
My
Yeah.
Instagram is at big BIG, B for boy, I for ice cream, G for God, low LO, ENT, short for entertainment. That's my Instagram.
Okay, is there any words of wisdom you want to share before we wrap this up?
Nah, man, you can anybody can do whatever they want to do.
Okay,
As long as you don't give up. Only thing gonna stop you is yourself.
okay.
If you don't stop,
That's your
then
camera right there.
Oh yeah. The only thing gonna stop you is yourself. Like don't give up. And if you believe in God, you gotta have faith. And He'll do it.
Amen.
Every time.
Won't he do it?
Well, He will do it. Do it. So we didn't finish our conversation.
That's okay. We'll do a part two. We'll
close out.
part two and everything. Man, why you rushing me now?
Well, now you
want
because
to
you
go
said
early.
we had to close out.
We closing out.
Because you're wrong.
I tell you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, you know, as like we always like to say, here at the Gentleman of Style Show, we believe in better, and there is no excuse for good taste. Until next time. You're wrong! I'm telling you now! You're wrong!
Hey, man.
She was the gentleman